Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some more shorter-term technical analysis on Bitcoin. No, I'm kidding. Actually, in today's video, we're going to be ignoring the short-term, and we're going to be zooming out to the longer-term, because everybody's so focused on what's going on in the last 24, 48 hours. Everybody's focused on what's going on with this stupid little bull flag that we've been in for the last 2 weeks, that no one has really zoomed out to the weekly chart and taken a look at the fundamentals and technicals out here. Because, guys, there's some big news going on the technicals out on the weekly chart, and there's some big news going on the fundamentals for Bitcoin as well that I hope you guys are aware of. And if you're not, I'm going to make sure you are in today's video. There are a whole lot of good signs for cryptocurrency out here on the daily and the weekly chart. So in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and show them to you. If you guys do enjoy today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. We do daily cryptocurrency content, and I wouldn't want you to miss any of it. And also, if you enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like after the video is over. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, the first thing I want to do is look at the daily chart. Even though this is still kind of a shorter term time frame, there are some things I want to show you down here. One of the first things I want to show you guys has to do with the RSI. As you guys know, there has been some divergence on the RSI as of late. We saw some lows down here in the earlier part of September, in the latter part of September moving on into October. Now that it's November, we've broken bullish, but as we can see also, those lows were moving in the opposite direction on the RSI. We had higher lows. We had a low, and then a higher low. That's pretty classical Bitcoin RSI bullish divergence. And guys, honestly, I don't think that we're done with the movements because of that. This is some pretty long-term RSI divergence, guys. We're talking about nearly 30 days of price action going into making that RSI divergence right here. And a lot of times RSI divergence that is that long is going to result in an even bigger rally than this. Albeit that was a 45% rally, but I could totally see this entire movement just being one gigantic bull flag or pennant or whatever you want to call it, a bullish continuation pattern that should send Bitcoin higher. Now that's all I really want to touch on the daily chart. We did have a bearish cross right here, but that might be short-lived. We're going to see how that plays out over the next couple of days. There are more things I want to show you on the weekly chart though, because the weekly chart is where it starts getting interesting, guys. We get to look at the entire history of Bitcoin on one screen, and we also get to see how certain indicators have reacted to Bitcoin over the past 10 years of its history. One of the ones that you need to be aware of, and that I'm going to show you today, are our 4 moving averages. We have 4 moving averages up here, guys. We got the 20 WEMA, we have the 50, the 100, and the 200 WSMA. Those are 4 of the most important moving averages in my opinion, and I use them quite frequently in my analysis. And there is a lot that can be read from these. Let's turn off the EMA for a second and look at just our 3 simples, because there are quite a few trends that we can pull out here. In fact, the first one I want to show you is on the 100 simple moving average. Guys, that's this gray line right here. Notice how Bitcoin reacted to this simple moving average back in 2014 and 2015. Bitcoin was in a bear market. It pulled back down to and got some support on this level right here, but we did eventually fall through it. And when we fell through it, that was a capitulation. Bitcoin entered an accumulation phase, which would come down here to sit on the 200 weekly simple moving average. From there, Bitcoin had a gigantic rally, a blow-off top rally, that resulted in Bitcoin trading sideways and then coming back down and testing support, you guessed it, on the 100 simple moving average, and then it went on the bull market, never to test it again until the beginning of the next bear market. Well, guys, remember what I just said, because tell me if this looks familiar. Bitcoin comes down and tests the zone around the 100 weekly simple moving average. It capitulates below it, falls down to the 200 weekly simple moving average, rallies away from it in a blow-off top, explosive rally, gets through the 100 simple moving average, trades sideways, comes back down, and tests the 100 simple moving average and bounces from there. Does that sound familiar to you? Because it sounds familiar to me. It sounds like that's exactly what happened in 2014 and 15. And if you look at what happened in 2014 and 15, something interesting occurred. Bitcoin got above that 100 simple moving average and traded just above it right up until the halving, which happened right about there. And from there, the Bitcoin bull market really kicked off. Guess where our halving is coming? Our halving is coming right over here. So if Bitcoin is going to follow that same history of the Bitcoin market that we saw back in 2014 and 15, we would expect Bitcoin to trade sideways or slightly to the upside for the next 4 or 5 months. Come towards the halving, Bitcoin starts moving to the upside, maybe up to all-time high and beyond sometime next year. And frankly, guys, I think it can happen a lot faster than that because the fundamentals are looking fantastic. We're going to get to those in a second. The point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that Bitcoin is cyclical. If I had a Bitcoin for every time I've said that, you wouldn't have any because I would have all 18 million of them. It's true, guys. Bitcoin is cyclical. It moves in market cycles. And check this out also. One more thing that we'd be predicting for the future future, if Bitcoin does follow this same cycle, is the 100 simple moving average continuing to trend downwards. As you can see, it has started to trend downwards as of the last month, and then coming down close to, maybe even touching the 200 weekly before they start to diverge again. So in the coming months, when this 100 simple moving average starts moving to the downside and people start freaking out about it because they think these two moving averages are going to cross, remember this video where I pointed out that it's supposed to do that during a bull market. But guys, we're not through, by the way. You think that, okay, no, there's more. I want to show you the 50 also. Check this out. Look at how Bitcoin reacted to the 50. Very similar thing to the 100, just in different places. Bitcoin came down and tested support on the 50 in the same way it tested support down here on the 100. It inevitably broke through it, bearish. We saw the same thing happen over here. Bitcoin tested it, broke through it, bearish. We saw a capitulation and it fell down to the 200 once again. When Bitcoin got above that 50 weekly moving average, in both of these cases, guys, Bitcoin went on a bull market, and that's where we are now. It's another one of those bullish confirmation indicators. Over a year ago, I uploaded a video to this channel explaining to you how you could confirm a Bitcoin bull market. I talked about this one in particular. I uploaded that video back like right here, and every single technical indicator I said in that video that would predict a bull market, guess what had happened? They all happened right there at the beginning of the bull market. This was one of them. We're above the 50 weekly moving average. We are in a bull market. But hey guys, Billy Mays here. Guess what? We're not done. I still need to show you something else. The 20 weekly exponential moving average getting above the 50. This is another one of those sort of golden crosses. We've seen a lot of those, and a lot of them happen right around the time the bull market kicks off. Check out what's going on right here. Two golden crosses at the beginning of both of these bull markets. People are arguing that Bitcoin is not in a bull market, or Bitcoin went up to $14,000 and that's a new all-time high, and that's the new high for the rest of time, or Bitcoin isn't going to actually be able to complete this bull market cycle all the way back up to $20,000 and beyond. The technicals are just not in agreement with you. The technicals are looking fantastic right now. The last couple of weeks, sure, they're a little boring. So what? Are you here for the next 2 weeks, or are you here for the next 20 years? If you have an answer to that question, tell me in the comment section down below. If you're looking to get rich overnight, guys, there's some Ponzi schemes you could go start. That might get you rich overnight, but Bitcoin is not a get-rich-quick scheme. A lot of people join cryptocurrency thinking that's what it is, and it's not. It is a skill. It is a trade. Pun very much intended. So don't lose your patience just because Bitcoin's been trading sideways when the technicals and the fundamentals look so good. Speaking of technicals, let's show you some more technicals. Check this out. This weekly chart MACD, pretty important. As you can see, when Bitcoin actually crossed bearish right over here, that was right around the time this new pullback that we were in was starting. Guess what? This is starting to move back bullish on itself. In fact, over the last 3 weeks, we have had convergence of the weekly MACD. That's really important, guys. The last time we saw a bullish cross on the weekly MACD was right here. See where this happened? February of 2019. Guess what happened in March of 2019? Bitcoin blew up. The MACD is very important, especially on the longer term time frames, and we are looking at a bullish cross on one probably before the end of the year. Furthermore, guys, despite Bitcoin's recent downtrending, Bitcoin is actually still above this important level on the weekly chart RSI. That 52 level that we've talked about in the RSI, see how Bitcoin comes down here and tests this as support during the bull market, and it tests it as resistance during the bear market. Bitcoin broke below that briefly, but now we've actually gotten back up above it, and we're now testing it. There's something really important that you guys have to understand, and that is that the only charts that matter are not the hourly chart. The hourly chart and the daily chart, they're important. The 4-hourly chart's important. The 15-minute chart, that's important. All of them, they're important. But people sometimes forget that the weekly chart and the monthly chart, and also sometimes the daily chart, people forget, are important also. And there are very good things going on these charts. So don't get tunnel visioned on a stupid little death cross right here that wasn't even really a death cross. Don't get tunnel vision on Bitcoin being below the 200 daily simple moving average again, when in reality, guys, the market's looking as good as it ever has. Check this out, guys. There's 1,660 Bitcoin contracts on Bakkt. That's around $15 million worth of volume. That doesn't sound like a whole lot, but considering when Bakkt launched, it had like 40 contracts a little over a month ago. That is very quick growth. Bakkt is another one of these fundamentals that we need to be looking at, and it's doing very well. I've shown you the longer term technicals. I've shown you one of the fundamentals, and you guys know that the fundamentals are doing pretty well. You guys saw Xi Jinping getting bullish on Bitcoin and blockchain and cryptocurrency technology about a month ago. Institutions on Bakkt are predominantly long on Bitcoin. That's an important trend. Another thing to point out is that Bitcoin rallied all the way to $14,000 without any of the retail investor interest that we had in the rally up to $20,000. Bitcoin had none of it back over here. The media was not giving Bitcoin much attention during this time. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But we still managed to get pretty darn close to $20,000, guys. 14K, that's not too far away. So ask yourself really if you think Bitcoin is bearish. Ask yourself really if you think Bitcoin's not going to $20,000. Do you really believe that Bitcoin is not bullish in the long term? You guys know I'm not a perma bull. I'm calling for maybe some kind of pullback here over the next couple of days down to $8,000. I'm not perma bullish, guys. I have been bearish on Bitcoin in the past, and I will continue to be bearish on Bitcoin when the fundamentals and the technicals tell me so. But on the longer term, guys, it's very rare for me to be bearish, considering the longer term hasn't changed at all in the time that I've been here, other than getting more bullish. Guys, there's so much that we didn't even cover in this video. I didn't even talk about stock to flow ratios. I didn't talk about adoption from major companies like Starbucks. There's a lot of things that we didn't cover here because there just isn't time to cover everything. But in conclusion, guys, the reason that I made this video is because I think there's a lot of people that are scared of Bitcoin trading sideways. They're scared of it pulling back a little bit, or they're scared of it going down to maybe $6,000. Maybe they're scared of it going down to the weekly chart on the 200. Like, oh no, that'd be terrifying. Bitcoin goes down to $4,700. That'd make headlines. Wouldn't that be so bad? Wouldn't the boogeyman come and take me away if that happened? Here's the deal, guys. The bullish fundamentals for Bitcoin have never been stronger. There, in my opinion, is not an argument for Bitcoin not succeeding, or at least moving back towards all-time high and beyond in the next 5 years. I think if there's ever been a good time to invest in Bitcoin, now is one of them. And I'm not going to tell you how to invest your money. I'm simply stating my own opinion here. I think Bitcoin is looking better than it ever has. Tell me in the comment section down below if I'm wrong, and tell me in the comment section down below if you've been looking and tunnel visioning too much on the shorter term time frames and not zooming out and looking at some of these longer term technicals that I just brought to your attention, because they are very crucially important that you understand them. But anyway, guys, I could continue preaching up here on my soapbox for the rest of time, so I'm not going to do that to you. I am going to go ahead and wrap the video up. I do hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, hit that like button down below. Really helps out the channel when you do that. And also, if you're new here, consider subscribing. We do daily cryptocurrency content, and whenever something crazy happens in the market, I try to live stream it to keep you guys up to date. So if you guys are interested, hit that subscribe button. But like I said, guys, that is going to have to do it for today's video. I want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching from the bottom of my heart, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good